Hello and welcome to this edition of URP Practical Talk. As always, I'm your host, George Gonzalez. And, well, it's right here, we have in the studio Dr. Vishnu Bandhu. So, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Right, and so let's just move right into it. Of course, you've been doing a lot of campaigning as of lately. You've been going about all the regions of Guyana. So can you tell us a little bit about your progress so far?
Well, we have been doing very well, but the same cries all over in Guyana. You know, things are bad, things are hard with people. People are jobless, youths are not having job. And the same thing had been continuously going on and on and on. But in the same speed that we have been going around Guyana, we also have been opening new offices all over. So now we have office in Region 2, we have office in Region 3, we have office Region 6, Region 10, and we're moving on. You know, the URP are setting a good space right now.
Right. And so that you've been opening these regional offices and you're also going to be contesting local government elections. So this means that pretty soon there's going to be offices in every region then, am I correct?
Yes, yeah. We are planning to open every region offices, and some region will have more than one offices. You know, like Berbice may have 2 to 3 offices currently, you know, because it's a long stretch. So we try to meet with the people, you know. Not the people come to us, but we go to people. And we have been doing that, and it's very successful so far. You know, we have been getting very good result, tremendous result in what we are doing. It means that we are doing something right. You know, so we are on the go all the time. You know, like for instance, we are about to move to Wakanam, public meetings. You know. And so forth. You know, we are going Kakwani, we are going, you know, different part of Linden. We are having a series of public meetings all over the country right now, trying to bring awareness to people of the URP.
And so I know you mentioned Wakanam as being one of the places there's soon going to be public meetings. And of course, that's a big fishing area. Last time we actually spoke with some fishermen and they express some of their concerns. Since us having that, have more fishermen come to speak out in support of the URP, kind of their vision for the industry?
In the fact that non-government had really focused on the fishing industry seriously. You hardly hear they talk about fishing and so forth. The URP are focusing on all the industries in Guyana. Nothing should be left unturned, right? We are focusing on all the present industry. We are talking about future industries. What we are doing. We are not here to only to badmouth the government or badmouth the opposition. We are here to try to do our best so that Guyana can move forward, right? And this is the policy of the URP. Not to throw dirt on people all the time. And I say it on this program over and over. If the government do the right thing, the URP will congratulate them and praise them. If they do the wrong thing, the URP will talk about it. We speak about whatever they do, right? And also the previous government. Because we try to assess and put both of them together and see the difference in it. And that's the URP policy. It's to help. You know, we are a true democratic political party. If you want to support a political party, we are here for true democracy. Right? We are here for a real change in Guyana. And only the URP can bring about this real change in Guyana through democracy.
And I like that you mentioned that because, of course, many people will always say that a majority of the politics that goes on in Guyana is very race-based, is very class-based, so that a lot of people may even be concerned. They say that they feel like Guyana may not be ready for objective politics. So do you feel like the URP will really be able to
I
push
think
through
the URP will be the only political party who will able to bring people together, right? Because from the inception of the URP, from the formation in 1985 in New York, that was the goal of the URP. When we saw that since then, that the problem was racism in Guyana. Bonham and Jagan create a racist parties, two parties, where Bonham said, Chedi, you take the Indian. But Chedi said, Bonham, you look after the blacks. And we go down that line for 50-odd years, right? It is time enough now for our people to open their mind and see that race does not put bread and butter on the table. It's policy that put bread and butter on the table. Let us take, for instance, I'll move away a little and visit places like United States or Canada or Great Britain. It is policy that they have there, they create, that where you and I can go there and develop ourselves. We can become whatever we want to be, as long as we work hard and smart towards it, right? And this is what the URP wants for Guyana. That create policies has nothing to do with race, but it has to do with your own mentality, how smart you want to work and how hard you want to work to become what you want to become. You want to become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, accountant, whatever, millionaire or billionaire, you have an opportunity to do that. All class of people in Guyana will have that kind of opportunity, from the young to the oldest.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And so that is a very strong message. It's a very poignant message. It's one that Guyana has to hear. And so I'm going to take it back a little bit, going towards the with, of course, with having the various offices around the country. I know that's one form of getting the message, but I also know that the newspaper has definitely been a very good way of spreading that message. Can you tell us a little bit about the newspaper?
Oh, well, this is our newspaper. We just restart printing this again. We used to print this before on the 2015 election, but this is our fourth issue, I think, now. We start back printing. And this will have a lot of messages, a lot of news inside the Republican. It costs $60 to you know, we sell it for $60. And we are hoping that people will read it because it has lots of information inside this newspaper. We started on a monthly basis right now, but we'll probably continue 2 weeks, then, you know, one time a week or whatsoever in the future. But we just start out this year because of information. Our idea is just for people to be educated on issues in Guyana, right? We are not looking at racism. We are the only political party in Guyana today that's trying to educate the masses in Guyana. No one else, right? We had this program, the URP Practical Talk. We are here over a year now. It's going in 2 years, URP Practical Talk. Now we start back our newspaper. Then we have social media. We are trying to put some sense into our people's head, right? To let you know that this racism game what they're playing, and both sides is playing it, you know. This government is playing it seriously right now, and the previous government, the PPP, are playing it also. And they go in the public, they say, no, we aren't talking about racism. But you tell me something. If they go to a meeting, let us say, for instance, let me point out United States, New York. If the PNC go to a meeting in New York, they keep it in Brooklyn where the black people live. If the PPP go a meeting in New York, they keep it in Richmond Hill where the Indian people live, right? So what do you call that? Isn't that, you're demonstrating racism. You're not talking about racism, but you're demonstrating racism, right? Guyana need a government for all people, not for one race, because Indian and blacks is not the only two people in this country. We are made up with 6 races in Guyana. The 4th race was the Amerindian in Guyana. And we must say, always remember that history cannot be erased, right? So we must be able to look at each and every one equally as a government. So that opportunity that I'm talking about will able to even wash away the racism, because people will try to go towards what they want in life, and they wouldn't have time to sit down at people's house and rum shop and here and there if they want to develop their life. You wouldn't find that. You wouldn't find people too much on the street with drugs and things like that, because they will have things to do. You wouldn't find that the man come and he work his money and he go and beat up his wife home because she can't cook food. No. But the wife doesn't have the amount of money to cook the food. So he go and he beats his wife up. You wouldn't find those things, because you will be able to have money that you can be able to sustain your family comfortably under URP government. And this is how I am seeing it.
And so from what I'm understanding, essentially, that it's through education we'll really be able to move past race-based politics, and the means by getting that money that we would need to lift that country out is through agriculture.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. This is the whole plans of the URP. Right? Look, coming back again to the state, because I'm talking about the state because I live more than half of my life there, right? Every part of this world, you will find people in New York, right? You will find people every morning, you see, when you go to the train station or so, or the bus place, you see everybody busy running to get the train, to get the bus. You are living in New York, you know what I'm talking about. They're all on, like they're running every morning and afternoon.
Yeah.
They go to work, they come back home, they do their chores home, cook their dinner and things like that, go to bed, sleep, wake up and go again. Yeah. They don't have time. Look, I have been living in Brooklyn, East New York. It's a rough area. Yeah. I built up that area actually, because the area where I'm living, I was a builder there. I built many buildings in that area. And people always say, Vishnu, that this street they should really name after you. Pitkin Avenue, they should name it your name, because the amount of work you did here, right? And when I go to that area, it's a dump, But what I'm trying to say here, the area has been built up. Even my neighbor, I lived there 15 years, that house. I don't know my neighbor. I don't know who lived next door, because I don't have time with that. I don't have time to look who live here and who live there. I have time to do my business. So the same thing can happen here. We have too much of idle times here, And besides idle times, it is not encouraging for people even to work, because the money that they are getting cannot sustain them. So it's not encouraging for them to work. So that is why the mindset has been there, that everybody who lives here, all what they think about, my family put in my papers, they sponsor me, I'm waiting on my time to go there. And they sit back here, relaxed, and don't care about nothing, just all in their mind, I will be going to Canada or New York or somewhere, and the heck with Guyana. But that is not the way to think. We are thinking wrong. And the people in the United States, the Guyanese in the United States and Canada, helped put Guyana into this situation. Because of what? Because of the barrels they sent here, because of the money. They make our people and they make their family like a professional beggars.
So it's created almost like a dependency.
Yes,
syndrome.
depend. Everybody look forward. You never use. You're supposed to give somebody something, but you give them on a regular basis. They become accustomed to it. Like you should. You must give them. You have to give them, because they're depending on that now. Because you train them that way. When I was a young man, and this is where I go to all the meetings. I am calling on our Guyanese brothers and sisters. Hey, try to be proud people, man. Try to work for yourself and not depend on handout. Work for yourself so that you can be proud people. When I was a young man, we were so proud, because we never depend on somebody giving us something, and we live lovingly. We live with our neighbor like a real family, We live with everybody was like a family in our village, And these are the kind of life I would like to see back in Guyana. And we can have it. George, believe me, we can have this.
I feel like we deserve it.
Yeah, if our people comes like this together and don't watch the color of your skin and the texture of your hair, but look at us as one family. As you said, one people, one nation, for one destiny. Let us go down and think about that.
Yes, and I like that you've mentioned the family and the view of us being one big family. That, of course, the URP has spoken a lot about family values and of spirituality. That can you talk a little bit?
Well, we talk about building strong families.
Yes.
Why we talk about building strong family? A strong family brings a strong nation, and a strong nation brings a strong government. And a strong government brings a prosperous country and a progressive country, right? So when I talk about strong family, why I said about strong family? For instance, let us talk about an estate recently closed, the Wales estate. When those people are out of a job, the only thing they can think about now, the men think about going to the bushes to cut timber or dig gold. And for months and months, they will leave their family and go. Sometimes their wife got 4 or 5 children. When you leave, separate from your wife and children, right away you broke up your family.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are no proper guidance. When the two parents are together, there will be proper guidance. When the two parents are not together, there will not be proper guidance. Because why? Because the work might be so pressing on the one who looks after the children, they can't able to manage them. And this is why we are saying, the URP are saying, look, in every area that we have in this country, if we are doing agriculture, let us set up an agriculture industry. That's what they plant in that area, so that it can able to provide for that area. So the family, the wife doesn't have to go seek job elsewhere, or the husband doesn't have to go and seek job elsewhere, right? Or anywhere they seek job, it will be right near their home, so that they can get back home in the night to stay with their children, see the children do their homework, monitor them, find out what's happened for the day, and so forth. We have to try to manage our kids, what they are doing, right? You can have, for instance, you have your daughter, and your daughter says, man, look, I want to go to a party, mommy, today I'm going out. You say, yes, girl, go. You know? And you don't even put no kind of restriction on her. Look, you got to get back here for 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. You let her go. And young people, you go and they create their mischief out there. The next thing you know, they come home, they're pregnant. Because of what? Because of parents. Parent guidance is nothing. Sometimes you think that you love your children too much. You give them the opportunity to do whatever they want to do. That's not love. That is not love. You must be able to make the rules. Your kids may not like you, but you know what? Down the line, when they grow older and realize, they will say, thank you, mom, and thank you, dad, for growing me this way. You know, I become a real kid. I can able to stand on my 2 feet. I know how to manage my life. You know, I will able to practice the same thing to my children. But what you teach or what you taught me.
And so, given the fact that, of course, unfortunately, we have a lot of these people, a lot of folks are having children, and they're also very young themselves, that I know there's a certain element of education that's needed there to even, I mean, you know, they may not know how to raise a child because they don't even know how to raise a child. So essentially the URP is going to try to educate people and try to teach them on these things.
Definitely, because they're a child already. You know, if you go, you go up the interiors and so forth, children 10, 11 years and so getting pregnant.
Wow.
12 years getting pregnant, getting babies.
Wow.
You know?
You don't even get a chance to...
It's amazing, you know, in the bush areas, in Guyana, right? Things are happening so fast, and those parents also are not educated enough to teach their children the right way because they grow up in the same way, you know. So there are so many things that we have to do in Guyana to educate our people, to let them understand that this is not the right way we are going. Look, this is the wrong way, let us move out and try something else. If you go in a way and you see it's not working out, try something else, you know, and see. The URP intend to explore all these areas to teach people, because that is the most important thing, is teaching people what to do. We got to teach people how to live, how to plant, how to reap, how to package, how to clean. Or, you know, there's so much things, you know, we have to teach people. But our professional politicians for the past 50-odd years, all what they're interested in filling their pockets. Not to grow a nation, a great nation. All they're interested is filling their pockets. We have seen it in the PPP. We are seeing it right now in this government. You know, every time you look around, you hear the Prime Minister gone some way, the President gone some way, the Minister gone some way, all the assistants running the country. And they're spending money wildly, crazy, all over this country, enjoying their life. They are really enjoying their life. The past government, also this government. They're enjoying themselves.
And so some would argue then with essentially a lot of the race-based politics that went on in the past, and also a lack of, or maybe even some mismanagement going on in there, it almost behooves them, or those who want to keep such a structure in place, to keep the population uneducated.
Well, that is the whole system, is to keep these people uneducated, not educated, because when they are educated and you tell them jump, they will ask you why. Yeah. When they are not educated and you tell them jump, they will ask you how high. This is how it goes, you know, because they are uneducated. They don't want to ask no question. Whatever you tell them, they accept it. And for 50 odd years, we've been having that here. We having brain drain. The person who educate themselves a little, the first thing they try to do, they get a little education here. This government spend money in university to teach them. And because there are lack of jobs, they jump on a flight and they go to the island, they go to some other country, and they start to work there. So who losing out? Guyana losing out. Our country is losing out. Because we do not have proper managers, we do not have proper management. The biggest business in Guyana is the government business, is to manage. And if you can manage, then you should get out. I personally don't think this government know what they are all about. I don't think they know. That is why I have called some time ago that the president should resign and call a new election in Guyana, because he is not fit to run this country. He is not fit to run this country the way it runs. Right? This country may collapse anytime. How things are going. You know, they might see it from their side that they're doing great, but they're not doing great. You know, the people that who had voted for them, who had placed their X against their party, are very, very disappointed today. Very disappointed. That is why the URP took the stand after the general election, when they promised the 100 days they will do so and so and so and so, and haven't done anything. The URP has been taking the street. The URP has been working, because the URP feel all political parties should work round the clock, 24/7. A political party should not wait for the bell to ring before they go out. For the past 50 odd years, that's what the PPP and all of them was been doing in the PNC. They set a date for the election, and then you see everybody busy, going on the street, making promises, you know, what they can keep. And our people, because they are not educated enough, they accept these lies from these two major political parties and keep on accepting the lies. You know? So tell me where we are going. Huh? Are we going forward? Are we going backward? Where are we going? We are not going anywhere. So I am urging our people, please look at the URP very carefully. We are here, we are the People's Party. We are here to serve, not to be served like them. They are there to be served. We are here to serve the people. We are not promised that we'll give anything, because we don't have anything to give. Everything, all the resources in this country, it belongs to you, the people. Everything that my government belongs to you, the people. So all what the URP are promising you, my brothers and sisters, the URP will work with you to achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life. Look at us. Join us. Try to think about your country. Serve your country. This is your motherland. Be proud of it. Because no matter where you go in the world, if anything go wrong where you go, like Venezuela, all the Guyanese have to rush back to Guyana today. So I thank you, and may God bless each and every one of you who are looking at us, and share this message with your friends and family. I thank you. God bless you.
So definitely some good thoughts to leave us with. So again, as always, thank you, Dr. Bandu, for coming, for speaking with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that brings us to the close of another edition of URP Practical Talk. Again, I'm your host, George Gonzalez. And as always, we want to encourage you to look us up on Facebook at URP Guyana. And you can also find us online at www.urpguyana.com. Again, thanks for watching, and have a good one.